Om Namah Parvati Pataye Hara 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 Mahadev. Om Guru Jaya Guru Om Guru Sachidananda Guru Om Guru Guru Jaya Guru Om Guru Sachidananda Guru Om Om Guru Jaya Guru Om Guru Om Sachidananda Guru Om Guru Om Guru Jaya Guru Guru Om Sachidananda Guru Om Guru Sachidananda Guru Guru Om Nityananda Sadguru Om Guru Ananda Guru Guru Om Sachidananda Guru Guru Om Mukhananda Sadguru Om Guru Ananda Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Guru Jaya Guru Om Guru Om Sachidananda Guru Om Guru Om Guru Jaya Guru Sachidananda Guru Om Guru Nityananda Sadguru Om Guru Om Nityananda Sadguru Om Sadguru Om Guru Jaya Guru Om Guru Om Sachidananda Guru Om Guru Jaya Guru Om Guru Om Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda Guru Om Guru Om Nityananda Sadguru Sachidananda Guru Om Guru Om Nityananda Sadguru Nityananda Sadguru Nityananda Sadguru Nityananda Sadguru Sadguru Om Namah Parvati Pate Har 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 Mahadev Namah Svanantaya Sahasramurte Sahasrapada Shishirarbhave Sahasranamne Purushaya Shashvate Sahasrakoti Yugadharine Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murte Neshprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Nityanandaya Gurave Shishya Samsara Harane Bhakta Kare Kadehaya Namaste Chittadatmane Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karva Vahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvisha Vahe Om Shanti 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 Om Namo Gurubhya Gurupadukabhyo Nama Parebhya Parapadukabhya Acharya Siddhe Swarapadukabhyo Namo Namaste Gurupadukabhya Inkar Hrimkar Rahasya Yukta Hrimkar Gurhar Tamaha Vibhutya Omkar Marma Pratipadinibhya Namo Namaste Gurupadukabhya Utra Nihautra Nihabesya Hotro Omadi Sarva Kritibhasamana Brahma Tadvo Bhavitarinibhya Namo Namaste Gurupadukabhya Kamadi Sarpa Vrajagarudabhya Vivek Vairat Yanidhi Pradabhya Buddha Pradabhya Dhritamokshadabhya Namo Namaste Gurupadukabhya Ananta Samsara Samudratara Naukaitabhya Stira Bhaktidabhya Jadya Visamsho Shanavadabhabhya Namo Namaste Gurupadukabhya Om Shanti 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 Om Asya Shri Guru Gita Stotra Mantrasya Bhagavan Sada Shivarshihi Nana Vidhani Chandamsi Sri Guru Paramatma Devata Ham Bijam Sah Shakti Kram Kilakam Sri Guru Prasad Siddhyartha Jape Yoga Amsabhyam Parivitta Patra Kamale Devya Jagat Karane Veshvot Kirnamane kade anilaye swachundam atmejaya Tadyatam padashambhavam tu charanam Depan kuragrahinam Pratyakshakshar vigraham Gurupadam Dhyayadhibum shashvatam Mama chatur vidha purushartha siddhyarte Jape viyogaha Sutta uvacha Kailasa shikhare ramye Bhakti sandhananayukam Pranamya parvati bhaktya Shankaram paryaprichata Tri devi uvacha Om namo deva devesha Paratpara jagat guru Sadashiva mahadeva Guru diksham pradhehi me Kena margena bho swami Dehi brahmamayo bhave Samkrapam kuru me swami Namami charanotava Ishvara uvacha Mamarupasya devi tvam Tvat prityartam vadamyam Laukopakarika prashna Nakenapi pratapura Durlabham trishu lokeshu Tatshirnushma vadamyam Gurum vina brahmananyat Satyam satyam paraname Veda shastra puranani Itihasadikani cha Mantra yantra vidyascha Smitirucha Punadikam Shaiva shakta gamadini Anyani vividhani cha Ramsa karaniha jivanam Yagya vratam tapodanam Japasthirtam tathaivacha Guru Tattvam Avigyaya Mudhaste Gurur Bhudyat Manonanyat Satyam Satyam Na Samshayah Talabhartham Prayatnasto Manishibhe Buddha Vidya Jaganmaya Dehecha Jnana Sambhava Udaya Prakashena Guru Shabde Guru Murtim Smare Nityam Guru Nama Sada Jupe Guru Ragyam Guru Vita Guru Anyanam Apaye Ananya Sintayantau Mam Sulabham Paramam Padam Tasmat Sarva Guru Aradhanam Kuru Gukarastvan Dhakarascha Rukarasteja Ushate Agyana Grasakam Brahma Gurureva Nasamshayaha Gukara Pratama Varna Mayadi Gunabhasakah Gukaro Dvitiyo Brahma Maya Bhranti Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurureva Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Hetave Jagatameva Samsara Navasetave Prabhave Sarva Vidyanam Shambhave Agyana Timiradhyasya Jnanam Jana Shalakaya Surunmiritam Yena Yat Satyena Jagat Satyam Yat Prakashena Bhati Tat Yadande Nanandante Yasya Sthitya Satyamedam यद्भाति भानुरूपतः प्रियं पुत्रा यत्प्रीत्या येन चेतायते इदं चित्तं चेतायते नयं जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यादि तस्मै श्री यस्य ज्ञानादिदं विश्वं न दृश्यं भेन भेरतः सदैकरो करूपाया यस्या मतं तस्य मतं मतं यस्या न भेरसः अनन्या भावाया यस्य कारणरूपस्य कार्यरूपेण भाति यत् कार्यकारणरूपाय नानारूपमिदं सर्वं न केनाप्यस्ति भेदतः उकारं च गुणातीतं ऋकारं रूपवर्जितं गुणातीतं योरर्यात्सा गुरुस्मृतः अत्र नेत्रः सर्वसाक्षी अच्चतुर्बाहुरच्युतः अच्चतुर् श्रीगुरु अयं मयञ्जलिर्बद्धः दयासागरहृदये यत् अनुग्रहतो जन्तुष्टरमूर्तिभाक् गुरो परमं रूपं विवेकचक्षुषोमृतं मन्दभाग्या पश्यन्ते अन्धाः अभ्यैते सकलै सुदीर्घमनिले व्याधि प्रदय दुष्करे प्राणायाम शतेरनेक करने आत्मकिर्दुचये स्वदेशिकशैव शरीरचिन्तनं भवेदन्तस्य शिवस्य चिन्तनं कीर्तनं शिवस्य कीर्तनं यस्मादनुग्रहं लब्ध्वा महदाज्ञानमुत्सृजे केन्द्राय तस्यै अकाधारित्रेकाब्जे सहस्रदालं मण्डले त्रिकोणेच्छ सकलभुवनसृष्टे कल्पिता शेषपुष्टिर्निखिलनिगमदृष्टे सम्पदां जगदृष्टे तत्पदकैकदृष्टिर्भवगुण मोक्षमार्गैकदृष्टेः सकलभुवनरङ्ग स्थापनस्तम्भयष्ठे सकारुणारसावृष्टिर्तत्त्वमाला समष्टे सकलसमायुदृष्टे ददृष्टिर् श्रीगुरुदेवदृष्टे अग्निशुद्ध समं तात ज्वालापरिचकाधिया हरिनिशं तदे जते तनय जते तदूरे तत्समीपके तदन्तर यमहयतः अजोहम अजरोहम च अनादिनिधन स्वयं अविकार अपूर्वनां परं नित्यं स्वयं ज्योतिर्निरामयम् ध्रुवम् आनन्दमव्ययम् मननं यद्भवं कार्यं तद्वदामि महामते साधुत्वम् त्वयि तिष्ठति साम्प्रतम् अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं दर्शितं येन यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण ज्ञानम् उत्पद्यते स्वयम् चैतन्यं शाश्वतं शान्तं व्योमातीतं निरञ्जनम् स्थावरं जङ्गमं चैव तथा चैव चराचरम् जगत्सर्वं ज्ञानशक्ति समारूढः तत्त्वमाला विभूषितः अनेक जन्म संप्राप्त सर्वकर्म विदाहिने न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः मन्नाथ त्रिजगन्नाथो मद्गुरो त्रिजगद्गुरो ध्यानमूलं गुरुमूर्ते पूजमूलं गुरुपदम् ध्यानं त्रिनो महादेवी सर्वानन्दप्रदायकम् भुक्तिमुक्ते श्रीमत्परब्रह्म गुरुं स्मरामि श्रीमत्परब्रह्म गुरुं वदामि ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं नित्यं शुद्धं निराभासं निराकारं निरञ्जनम् चिदानन्दम् आनन्दमानन्दकरं प्रसन्नं ज्ञानस्वरूपं निजबोधयुक्तम् यस्मिन् दृष्टे स्थिते ध्वंसा निग्रहानुग्रहात्मकम् गुरुदर्शितमार्गेण मनः शुद्धिं तु कारये यत्किञ्चिदात्मगोचरम् ज्ञेयं सर्वस्वरूपं च ज्ञानं च मन उच्यते हुङ्कारेण न वक्तव्यं प्रज्ञशिष्यैकपञ्चन गुरुरग्रे न वक्तव्यम् असत्यं च कदाचन मुन्निभिः पनगैवापि सुरैव शापितो यदि कालमृत्यु गुरुरक्षति पार्वती मन्त्रराजमिदं देवी गुरुरित्यक्षराद्वयं स्मृतिभेदास्तवाक्येन नित्यं ब्रह्म निराकारं निर्गुणं बोधयेत् परम् निराभासं दीपो दीपान्तरं यथा गुरुकृपा प्रसादेन आत्मरामं निरीक्षये अनेन गुरुमार्गेण स्वात्मज्ञानं प्रवर्तते आब्रह्मस्तम्भपर्यन्तं परमात्मस्वरूपकम् प्रणमामि जगन्मयम् वन्देऽहं सच्चिदानन्दं भेदातीतं सदा गुरुं निराकारं निर्गुणं स्वात्मसंस्थितं परात् परात्परं ध्येयं नित्यम् आनन्दकारकं हृदयाकाशं मध्यस्थं सन्निभम् स्फटिकप्रतिमरूपं दृश्यते दर्पणे यथा तथात्मनि चिदाकारम् अंगुष्ठं मात्रपुरुषं ध्यायतश्चिन्मयं हृदि तत्र स्फुरद्भावो यः कथयाम्यहम् अगोचरं तथा गम्यं नामरूपविवर्जितं निःशब्दं या भावं ब्रह्मपार्वते यथा गन्धः स्वभावेन कर्पूरकुसुमारिषु शीतोष्णारि तथा ब्रह्म शाश्वतं स्वयं तथा विदो भूत्वा दातव्यं यत्र कुत्रचित् शीतब्रह्मारभत् तत्र ध्यानं भवति तादृशम् गुरुध्यानं तथा कृत्वा स्वयं ब्रह्मामयो भवेत् पिण्डे पदे तथा रूपे मुक्तो सौनात्र संशयः श्री पार्वती उवाच पिण्डं किं तु महादेव पदं किं समुदाहृतं रूपातीतं स्वरूपं किम् एतदख्य हि शङ्कर श्री महादेव उवाच पिण्डं कुण्डलिनी शक्ति पदं हंसामुदाहृतं रूपं बिन्दु ऋते ज्ञेयं रूपातीतं निरञ्जनं पिण्डे मुक्ता पदे मुक्ता रूपे मुक्ता वरानने रूपातीते ते मुक्ता नात्र संशयः स्वयं सर्वमयो भूत्वा परं तत्त्वं विलोकये परात्पर सर्वमेतं निरालयम् लब्धं वा अनलब्धं वा स्वल्पं वा बहुलं तथा निष्काम्यमेव भोक्तव्यं सदा सन्तु सर्वज्ञा परमित्याहुः देहि सर्वमयो बुद्धः सदा शान्तो रमते यत्रैव तिष्ठते सोऽपि सदेशस्य पुण्यभाजनं मुक्तस्य लक्षणं देवी अनेन यद्भवेत् कार्यं तद्वदामि महामते तं देवी लौकिकं गुणमावे लौकिकात् कर्मणो यान्ति ज्ञानहीना भवर्णवम् कर्म निष्कर्म यत्कृतम् इदं तु भक्तिभावेन भक्ताते त्रिनुते यदि तत्प्रदातव्यम् गुरुगीतात्मकं देवी शुद्धतत्त्वमयोदितं शार्थं सदा गुरुगीता शरैकं तु मन्त्रराजमिमं जपे विविधा मन्त्रः कलाम् अनन्तफलमाप्नोति गुरुगीता जपेन तु दारिद्र्यनाशनं कालमृत्युभयहरं सर्वसङ्कटनाशनं Rakshas Bhutanam Chora Vyagra Ayapaham Mahavyari Haram Sarvam Vibhuti Siddhidam Bhave Attava Vayameva Mohanam Sarva Bhutanam Bandha Muksha Karam Bhave Priyakaram Asidham Sarhe Karyam Navagraha Bhayapaham Swapna Sarvabharha Prashamana Dharmata Kama Mokshadam Yate Kamam Nishchitam Kamitasya Kamadheno Kalpana Kalpaparapa Chintamanish Sarvamangalakarakam Moksha Hetur Jate Nityam Moksha Triyama Vapruya Tasya Kama Lapradam Atha Kamya Jate Shanam Khatayami Varanane Sagare Va Saritere Tava Hari Haraye Shakti Devaliye Goshte Sarva Devaliye Shubhe Bhatrimule Va Vrinda Pavitra Nirmale Sthane Nitya Anusthana Topiva Samsara Malana Sharpam Bhava Pashana Vritaye Tadvagya Saivacha Guru Sakshat Sada Sabrahma Vitamaha Pavitrani Samsaya Sarva Shuddha Pavitrosa Subhavariyatra Tishtate Shitrapithe Samudra Chayat Atoyam Kshiram Grite Gritam Kashas Tatma Paramatmani Tathaiva Jnani Jivatma Paramatmani Liyate Aikena Yatra Tatra Bhutanishim Evam Viro Mahamukta Sarvada Vartate Buddha Bhava Bhakti Sarva Sandeha Rahita Mukto Bhavati Parvati Jivagre Annena Pranina Sarve Guru Gita Japena Tu Muktim Muktim Satyam Satyam Puna Satyam Dharmyam Tankyam Ayoritam Mata Dhanya Pita Dhanyo Dhanyo Vamsha Kulam Tatha Japena Jayamapnoti Chananta Palamapnuya Japam Hina Sanam Kurvan Hina Karma Phala Pradam Japan Jayamavapnati Marane Mukti Dayakam Ateva Pagvachittaya Turadha Bhakti Yutaya Cha Samsara Sagara Samudharanekam Mantram Brahmani Deva Mune Pujita Siddham Mantram इति श्रीस्कंद पुराणे उत्तरखंडे ईश्वर पार्वती संवादे गुरु गीता समाप्ता श्री गुरुदेव चरणार्पणमस्तु। दुर्जन सजन भूयात् सजना शान्तिमाप्नुयात्। स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्याय्येन मार्गेण न महीमहिषः। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः। सर्वस्तरतु दुर्गाणि सर्वो भद्राणि पश्यतु। स्वस्ति मातृता पितॄनस्तु स्वस्ति गोभ्यो जगते पुरुषेभ्यः विश्वं सुभूतं सुविदात्रं नमस्तु। योगेव दृश्येम सूर्यम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। आरती करूं सद्गुरु की करूं सद्गुरु की प्यारे गुरु पर के। आरती करूं गुरुवर के। आरती जय गुरुदेव अमला देना से ज्ञान रूप अंतर के वासी। पग पग पर देते प्रकाश ऐसे किरण दिन कर की। आरती करूं गुरु की करूं गुरु की प्यारे। जब से शरण तुम्हारे आए अमृत मीठे फल पाए। चरण तुम्हारे क्या है छाया, कल्पा वृक्ष तरु पर के। ब्रह्म ज्ञान के पूर्ण प्रकाश, योग ज्ञान के अतल प्रभर। ब्रह्म ज्ञान के छाया गुरु चरण सरोज में तारे, व्यथा हमारे रखी आरती। अंधकार से हमने निकाला, दिखलाया है अमर उजाला। से जाने रहे थे आके सुनो दर कर की आरती। संशयमिता विवेक कराया, भवसागर से पार लगाया। अमर प्रदीप जला कर कर दीनिशा, जो रईस तन की आरती गुरु कर की। भेद बताया, गमन विमुख कराया। धन्य हुए हम पाकर धारा, ब्रह्म ज्ञान निर्धारा। करो कृपा सद्गुरु जगतार सत्य प्रदर्शक भ्रांति निवारण छाया हो नित्य ज्योति दिखलाने पाले लीला धर के आरती गुरु भर के नित्यानंद सद्गुरु दाता शक्तिपात विद्या प्रदाता करके बास गणेश पुरे भवभार हरले जन के आरती वारती करुणा गुरु की करुणा की प्यारे गुरु पर आरती करूं सद्गुरु की करूं सद्गुरु की प्यारे गुरु वर की आरती करूं गुरु वर की ओम चैतन्यम शाश्वतं शांतं व्योमातीतं निरंजनम नादबिंदु कलातीतं तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। Hina Narayana Vasudeva. Hina Narayana Vasudeva. Hina Narayana Vasudeva Hare Murare Nath Narayana Deva. Vasudeva. Oh, hey, Narayana Vasudeva. Hare Murare Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Hinata Narayana Vasudeva. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We begin Darshan today in the silent space. Let's meet in the inner space. The physicalities are the fringe of our existence, or the periphery. It's not who we are. Essentially, we are energy beings existing in a source of infinite consciousness. We can meet in the inner space. We have that capability. Let go of the physical existence. Be aware of it, but don't be caught in it as much as you can. Don't let your ego be caught in physical identity. I am the body. No. I exist in a center of infinite beingness, consciousness. An energy embodiment, subtle energy embodiment gives me this immortal identity. Seek to understand that clearly. This I that speaks is not the body. It is speaking in and through a body. The vocal cords are vibrating because of an intention of the subtle body. The mind is navigating from the subtle space. And we can communicate beyond the physical existence instantaneously from mind to mind, heart to heart. Hold that in your awareness as you meet in the inner space, that you and I exist in oneness, that we all exist in oneness of being. Though energy identities are different, personalities, but we exist at the center of oneness. So if we let go of those energy identities, those ego identities, we can come to the very center of existence where we are all one, where we are all united in infinite peace, love, goodness, wisdom, and vitality. That's where we seek to meet as we begin Darshan today. And if your I needs an identity for its navigation, then let it be, I am that. Infinite consciousness, boundless, changeless, timeless. I am that, I am. The more you center in that, the more you center in freedom, but still with the awareness of all identities. They're still there, but be detached from them. It's called vairagya. A dispassion, detachment towards all identities. They're not you. They're creations of yours. Breathe into your heart space. The breath allows you to calm the senses and calm the mind. And oxygen in the brain and nervous system. Stay detached, stay observant, stay beyond the identities of the I, the ego, and just observe. The only thing that exists is the seer beyond identities, the seer. Patanjali says when the fluctuations of the mind cease, the seer stands, abides in its own nature. He calls it drashto. The seer. The seer is in the liberated posture. If we were to call it a posture. It's a seeing. Stay there with me. It's a plea to you to let go of your constant holding on to identity. Let go of it. You don't need it. It brings peace immediately when you're detached. Immediately. The greatest thing that you can do is let go. Swami Vivekananda, in his beautiful poem, Song of the Sannyasin, Song of the Ever Free, he says, let go thy hold, O freedom seeker. Thine is the hand that holds a rope that drags thee on, O wisdom seeker. Let go thy hold. Say, Om Tat Sat Om, he says. That's a freedom song. The thatness of being. I never forget those words. Let go thy hold, O freedom seeker. He says it's sannyasin bold. Say Om Tat Sat Om. Tat Sat means thatness of existence. And Om is the matrix of all sounds that arises from thatness. Om Tat Sat Om. Just stay with me in that peaceful space of being. It's only about letting go. Nothing to do except letting go. And just being. And as you move the breath, let it happen in being. So the doing is happening in being. Just witness the breath as it moves. Body needs to breathe, and so prana apana moves. And if mind cannot be totally still, give it the mantra. Om, Soham, Om Guru. In a cycle of repetitions called japa. Put the sound in a cycle with the breath. And flow with the rhythm of the breath, the rhythm of the sound, establishing the seer. And remember that the spinal column is at the center of the orbit of the energy. There's an orbit of energy around the spinal column, from root right up to the brow, down to the root again. So if you're flowing with the breath, flow with that spinal column awareness. Up the spine as you breathe in, down the front center of the body, following the spine as you breathe out. The Chinese call that the microcosmic orbit of energy. The meridian that goes up, it's a governor meridian. The energy gathering meridian. And the meridian that comes down is a functional meridian that energizes the body. Let's come back into the awareness of the space around us and the physical body, physicality. And here you need to bring more oxygen into the body. And give more attention to the body, that the senses may come alive again. And you become more aware of the elements of nature that surround you. Build the oxygen content of the blood once more. And then we'll do the Om sound, breathing out through the mouth and in through the nose, and then we'll expel with the Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaskar everyone, and welcome to Thursday's Darshan. Just to remind you what Darshan is. In the literal use of the word, we just means a meeting, a seeing of each other. But in the deeper context, it means the experience of each other. So the experience is not just a physical look, it's the presence, the energies, the auras, the connection from the spirit. That is Darshan. And that's what I enjoy with you. The meeting that is inner and outer. Outer you hear my voice, you see my form. The inner is the more important one. And you know the idea of the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg is a little bit, the below of the iceberg is big. Same with us. The body is only on the periphery, but the greater part of us is on the inside. In the meditation today, which I think it's an important meditation, the whole idea of coming to center of being, that's the place, that's like the eye of the storm. Because life in this yuga literally is like a storm. And you need to recede in your consciousness to the very center, which is the eye, where there is no movement there. You need a center for movement in the duality. And why do I bring this? Because in this kind of gathering, this kind of co-creativity, we can come to that center. Because we are held in the center of the masters. We are held in the center of the Guru principle. We are held in the center of the evolutionary energy of life that we call Kundalini Shakti. We are held by that. So the space is not just the ordinary space. It's a highly impregnated space with energies of the higher order. And I beckon you always to the center of that space that you may experience it. The space doesn't belong to me or to the great masters or to anyone else. The space belongs to all of us equally, to the ant, to the elephant, to the blade of grass, to every flower, to the sky, to the sun, to the moon, to the stars. The same center of being. But liberation in the consciousness only happens when you come to that center. That's why it's the most desirous goal. And of course, we are all held in this ahankar, the I maker, the identity maker, the ego in the mental space. We are all held by that, one way or another. The very idea of seeking is an ego. But you need the seeker. That's how you can come to the center, to the I. But like the boat that you don't need after you cross the river, the ego you don't need after a while. The I maker you don't need. You don't need to make more eyes. You've made enough eyes that get us in trouble. So there's going to come a point where we need to start detaching from all the eyes we have made. And that is the final I, the one that wants to detach. You can only escape this duality through wisdom. That's why the Hindus, the moment the sun rises, they with folded hands. Illumine my mind. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. That's how the Gayatri mantra ends. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. Illumine my mind, O source of light. Tat savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi. I meditate upon you, the source of light that I can see. Let it illumine my inner space, my intellect, my reasoning tool. And Patanjali gave a formula that's called Ashtanga Yoga. He gives a formula. It's not just the physical exercises of Ashtanga Yoga, it's a philosophy. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Samadhi is the final detachment in the consciousness and the experience of inner being. And he says, when you still the fluctuations of the mind that the ahankar creates, the ceaseless work of the ahankar, because it's an I maker, it's designed to just create I's identities. So you need to stop the fluctuations in the mind. That can only happen by going beyond the mind. The talk is, even in business circles, you can't solve a problem by staying in the same context. You need to move out of it, that you can see differently. So you cannot stay in the realm of the I and be free. You need to find a way out. And that's why you need a superior I, the seeker, the desire for freedom. The I that desires freedom is a superior I. The I that desires wisdom is a superior I. And he says that's what yoga is. Patanjali says that's what the yoga is. Yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. When the fluctuations of the mind cease, then yoga happens. And he says, tadad drashtu, surupe avashthanam. But then the seer stands in all of its glory. The seer, the seer, the seer, the seer abides in its glory. So the target is the seer. Coming to where you can see that last ego that is the seeker of freedom. And through grace, grace, you can leap beyond that last ego and come into the witness. So if you keep on energizing the ego, it's not going to find anything. The seer has to kick in. You need to come out of the context of ego. The seer has to kick in, so only grace. Remember what I said about Arjuna? Arjuna says, Krishna, oh Krishna, who are you? You're my friend. You're my guide. But who are you? Krishna says, you cannot understand who I am with those human eyes. But I'll give you the divine eye. Touch him. What did he see? He saw this, he got into this Krishna consciousness, that it's only Krishna, it's only the consciousness of life itself that exists. He saw in everything the essence. It's called the cosmic vision. So it's your grace. And that's why we seek the grace of Kundalini Shakti, the evolutionary energy, or the grace of the Guru principle, Guru Tattva. And that grace you can have. That's a grace that is in this space. And if you just remain quiet in this space, that's what Darshan is. Just remain quiet and look at the experience. And you let go, you'll be drawn to the eye of the storm, the center of duality, where there is freedom. And I absolutely, as I alluded to in the meditation, let go thy whole sannyasin bowl. Say Om Tat Sat Om. Thine is the hands that hold the rope that drags thee on, O sannyasin. Thine is the hold that drags the rope. That holds the rope that drags thee on. Let go, let go, let go! You're holding the rope. You're holding the eye. You're energizing the eye. Let go the rope. Oh, freedom seeker, sannyasin bowl. Let go the rope. I was just a young man and I said, oh my God, that is the secret, Swami. That is the secret. And when Swami Vivekananda said in one of his books, Bhakti Yoga, he says, you need the impulse of a master. And I said, oh my God, I need a master. Because I want an impulse. I just can't figure this thing out. There's no way I can be free with the ritual and the religion and these guides who live in duality. No. I need an impulse from the one who is free. And I saw through in the infrared. But when I thought it was in a man, I got a bold reality that I had to go inside when I look at this man, whom I saw as a freedom. being. I had to close my eyes and go within and find that space within where this being was. And I experienced it. I said, you're not the body. Certainly not the body, but you are so deep, I cannot even fathom where you are. Oh, Swami. That gave me the desire to go within, even deeper. I followed his every word, his every command, every instruction. That led me to the most beautiful place that I know. The eye of the storm, the center of being, the freedom space. There's no depth of gratitude for coming into that space. That's the space that you exist in. Let go thy hold. Let go of all identities. Come into drishtu, to seer. That's why I draw you in the darshan, to the seer. So there you have the secret to meditation, the secret to freedom. Do you need another formula? This is it. This is it. It is the essence of Patanjali's first two sutras, defining what yoga is and what the seer is. It's the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, where the Gita says, Bhagavad, the holy song. Samatvam yoga uchte, equanimity, complete detachment of the duality, is what yoga is. The same. What other formula you want? And the beautiful words of the Swami, let go of thy hold, O freedom seeker. Say Om, Tat Sat Om. That's a resonance of freedom, the thatness, the pure existence, no ego. That formula doesn't have ego. Be patient. Life is perfectly designed. Don't complain. No need to complain. It's karma that governs the universe. It's a universal law of divine compensation, action and reaction, cause and effect. Everything you have experienced is a result of some choice you've made in your past, some strong impressions you have created in your ignorance. Don't beat yourself up. Begin to see and extricate yourself, your consciousness, from the web of the ego. So that is Thursday Darshan, my friend. My friends. And I call you friend. Because that's what I am. I'm here to support you in every way that I can. I don't need anything from you. I simply want to offer you a lifeline to the center of being, to the center of existence. That's all that I want to do. That's all that I live for. There's nothing that gives me greater joy than seeing others become more aware, more happy, more positive, more aware, more wise. Have a blessed day, my friends. You're the essence of existence. Know it. Namaskar.